Hello, parents! Thanks for taking some time to explore what learning looks like today in SunWest schools. For the past few years, we've been using some terminology and language that you might not be familiar with, and we're hoping that this video helps you make sense of it all. We believe that your child is unique. We know that he or she has strengths, interests, and skills that set them apart from their peers. We know that they learn differently and at a different pace than those sitting next to them. They might prefer group work to explore certain topics, but need quiet, independent time to fully grasp others. And we appreciate that they might learn best by standing or sitting cross-legged on the floor rather than at a desk. In SunWest, we embrace all of those qualities and learning styles and are working with our students to create learning environments that allow each of them to realize their greatest potential. To help us tailor our teaching strategies to fit the needs of each student, we invite their voice and choice into the decision-making process. And the term that we're using to describe how we're doing that is PeBL. So what does PeBL mean? Well, first of all, it is an acronym. It stands for Personalized, Electronically Blended Learning. Each of those terms, personalized, electronically, and blended, represents a different way of learning and a different way of teaching. Building them all into one simple acronym, PeBL, is our way of saying, hey, in SunWest we are practicing them all, and they all have a place in our classrooms. We use our acronym of PeBL to also refer to this learner-centered process that emphasizes the gradual and deliberate transfer of responsibility between teachers and students. So, what does that mean? Well, let's break it down and look at each aspect of that definition. Learner-centered means that decision-making centers around and is driven by the best interest of each individual learner. Process: a series of actions or steps taken to achieve a particular end. Transfer of responsibility. In a traditional learning environment, most decisions are made by the teacher. In a personalized environment, students take on increasing responsibility for their learning. Research shows that this transfer of responsibility results in more engaged learning, higher motivation levels, and greater success. However, we know that in order for it to be effective, we must do so deliberately and gradually. Deliberate, by definition, means to do intentionally, carefully, and with thought. And gradual means slowly or by degrees. It does not imply 100% or right now. We'd also like you to think about the word between. Between means the space separating 2 points. It does not suggest one way or the other. In the case of PeBL, we are often working to shift responsibility from educator to learner, but for any number of reasons, it can shift back as needed. Does that make sense? When we talk about PeBL, we are talking about learner-centered processes that facilitate the gradual and deliberate transfer of responsibility between teacher and student.